Guys, this is Pixel Dan coming to you from the 2019 PowerCon, and I'm here with Brian Flynn from Super7 because they got a whole bunch of new stuff to show off here at the show. So how's it going, Brian?
Hey, I had no idea you were coming.
You had no idea? I didn't even know you guys were going to be here.
Yeah.
Well, walked in and saw Brian standing here. I was like, it's only been like 3 weeks since I've harassed him. I should probably do that again.
We completely coordinated this. You know?
That's right.
So.
Hey, so we just saw you at Comic-Con, and at Comic-Con you kind of dropped some big hints, right, of something big you had coming, and then the whole world found out about it this last week. So we now have Thundercats Ultimates on display here at the show.
That is correct.
We got to talk about these first.
Yeah, well, yeah, and then sort of the thing that we'll be announcing in the panel in 2 hours is the same thing, is that going forward, instead of deluxe, we're going to be doing ultimates for everything.
Really?
So it's been sort of this evolution as we've moved through things. Like when we did the first Ultimates because we could, and then we went into the deluxe figures, and obviously that was great. And as we moved through the deluxe line, you know, we'd move from like, oh, there's 2 accessories to maybe there's 3 accessories. And then always the question was like, why didn't you do this head, or where's this hand, or where's this weapon? And when we did Voltron, you know, he sort of came with the standard couple accessories that everybody came with. Right. Then we went to Toxie, and now he's got 4. And then we went to Ren and Stimpy and just really ruined ourselves with parts. But it really sort of organically came back to, especially as we came back to Thundercats, was like, well, what do we want to do? It's like, we really need to go back to these figures, fix some of the things that are wrong with them, bring in all the extra parts and ultimatize that. And then as we move from Thundercats into Turtles, it was the same thing. Like, let's go Ultimates. Let's just make Ultimates the new standard, if that makes sense. So just, if we're going to make it, let's just go full tilt and make all of it.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So they have so many accessories, interchangeable heads, hands, lots of stuff going on here. And you just revealed Lion-O, Panthro, Mumra, who's got like a new cloth cape, which is really cool, and Jackalman. And we've gotten all of these figures already through Mattel before that. So I think a lot of people were kind of surprised you were starting with these, but I imagine this is a way to allow people to jump back in, grab figures they might have missed.
Yeah, it serves basically 2 functions. It's one, there were things that we wanted to fix and update with those figures, as well as get all the extra pieces and parts in place. So if you already have that figure, that's fine. You can have that figure. That's great. You loved it. I'm glad you have it. But much like when we did the Ultimates for Masters, there's a lot of people that missed it. There's a lot of people that didn't get a chance to get in. So let's give everybody the chance to start, so that here going forward, you can get the whole line. Because the worst thing to do is like having to like really just kill yourself on the secondary market to get these figures that you just want to collect and have fun with. I think, you know, that begat the question immediately of like, oh, are they only going to make those figures? We want the whole team. And it's like, no. And same thing, we'll have it at the thing here later today, but it's like, here's the schedule for the next 16 figures. Like, you know, where we're looking at this is like, if you collect the Thundercats from us, we're going to give you 4 figures every 3 months. So like quarterly drop. It's like every 3 months, here's 4 figures.
4 more figures. Wow.
And so you can pace your budget, and you can be able to collect the line, and it will methodically move through. And it's just like, you know, that every 3 months there's going to be 4 more figures. Every 3 months, 4 more figures. Just simple and easy.
No, that's good. And I think, you know, it kind of feels like there's a bit of a curse when it comes to Thundercats, because it always feels like we get a couple characters and then the line's gone. So I think that's what everybody's worried about. You know, everybody's worried this is going to get the axe and we're not going to have a complete team again.
Well, there is a curse with Thundercats, and Lord knows we spent many years in that curse, but we finally passed the curse of Thundercats. But no, I mean, to be very clear, we already have 16 figures in process in some manner, shape, or form.
They're coming. Like, we don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, because it's bad for me if they don't show up. So I'm planning on making them. I hope everybody else is planning on getting them. But yeah, so we have 16 like already going, and that's year 1. Right. And my assumption is that we're going to be able to get into year 2, year 3, and however long it can go. I mean, Masters went for a long, long time, and we got very deep into the character selection. I think that we can do the same thing with Thundercats, and most of those collectors cross over pretty directly.
Yeah.
So I'm not terribly worried about that part of it.
Right.
So, yeah, we're gonna make a lot of Thundercats.
Good. And you made a good point too, because when you guys started off with Masters, you started by releasing He-Man and Skeletor and Ram-Man and Teela, and then went into all the new stuff. So it's the same kind of thing you're doing here. So as long as you're telling me we're gonna get a Tiger and a Chitara at some point, we're good.
Oh yeah, and they'll be the correct sizes.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
You're not gonna change scales? That's
Well, like some before were a little too tall. Those are those things that we're fixing. So no, there's a lot of stuff already in the works.
okay.
And it's the same thing. Like as we hinted about before at San Diego, it's like they were ready. We just couldn't show them. So now we're able to show them and talk about them, and we've got them. But like we're already well along on others.
Excellent. So is it too early to ask you what the packaging is going to look like for these?
We've got a couple different packaging concepts that we're working with. So I can honestly say that it's not 100% nailed yet, because it's like, are we going to do this, but this would be cool, or what about this? We've got a couple different things that we're going back and forth with, so people are going to like it.
Okay, good.
So no, it's a white card back,
Blank white.
with blister, and in Sharpie it just says Thundercats.
You're going to handwrite that on all of them?
It's spelled with a K for cats. Yeah, no.
Oh, that's how you release them.
It's gonna be it's there's a bunch of really cool things. It's just sort of like, how do we make it a system that can work the whole time and everything? So we're in there, but we're just not finished yet. But we'll have a packaging reveal soon.
Excellent. So it sounds like Thundercats is in good hands. A lot of amazing stuff coming out. But man, you kind of talked about it already. I wasn't expecting to see these so soon. The big reveal here at PowerCon is you have your new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Ultimates on display.
That is correct. See, that's the thing. Like Ultimate, and for us, what we're also transitioning into, sort of like Ultimates the line. So if I have every 3 months, I'm doing a drop on Thundercats. On alternate, another 3-month schedule that's in between, I'm having drops of Turtles.
Right.
So, and same thing, that's going to go on for a while. And so if I'm talking about a 12-month calendar, it'd be Thundercats, Turtles, and then in that other month, then we'll do some more one-offy kind of figures.
Okay.
And then Thundercats, Turtles, one-offy kind of figures, Thundercats, Turtles, one-offy kind. And so now sort of there's a year-long program around Ultimates, around a variety of licenses. So if you are collecting that kind and style of figure and you enjoy that thing, now we're trying to build that program out into a much bigger, not bigger, but just much more, I guess bigger is the right word, but that makes it sound a little negative, but it's just like, let's make this more than just one line of toys.
Okay, that's great. And these things, I mean, I was standing over here just geeking out while they were setting them up. It's ridiculous.
The Baxter Stockman is insane.
The Baxter is so good. So these are all based on the original toy line, which is so awesome because they stand out as something different, something new, sculpted by the Four Horsemen, tons of accessories.
Oh, a ridiculous amount of accessories. This is really that moment where we went and where we're like, as we talked about, what does this line become? When we were in the Turtles, we were really like, no, we got to add this. And then there's the weapons rack, and there's it's just like, we just finally just went, you know what? Just screw it. We're just going to move to Ultimates on everything and just make all the stuff we want to make with these things, rather than trying to pare it down. And sort of in that regard is everybody, and then they're like, oh, why are you moving from 35 to 45? It's like, because we're making 439 accessories for every single character, and there's so many other political factors that are coming into play, and some of that other stuff. But it's like, I really feel like it's like, what's the coolest version of these characters we can make? So let's make that.
I love it. And you mentioned the little weapons rack thing. So like, are the weapons going to be attached to those?
Yes.
Like, but they're fully painted.
They're fully painted.
But they're attached.
Well, and we've had that same discussion, is like, do we need to attach two? Well, then you get in, like, is it the fully painted ones that come apart versus the unpainted ones like the toys that didn't, and like then it starts to be just like brain melt. Now
I think painting the accessories is the right move for
Yeah.
sure. But I think it's awesome that they come with the little weapon racks. That's great.
well, it's and so much more kind of
Yeah.
thing. Like there's
I mean, Raph's got 2 heads. He's got like a classic toy head and then like a totally different head with a longer bandana.
there's I mean, and then all the communicators and all
Yeah.
the
I saw both versions of the communicators in there. I saw the Mouser in there with Baxter. Splinter has like a little steaming cup of tea. It's unbelievable.
exactly like let's just go. If we're gonna go there, let's go there.
It's amazing.
So that's what we're trying to do here.
So hopefully retro style card backs for those guys, right?
We've got plenty of. We're gonna pull you in as much as we can, Danny.
all right.
I'm gonna make you the thing that you can't resist.
Oh, it's already done. I'm looking right at them. It's ridiculous.
My job is to be the Willy Wonka on that one for you.
love it.
Yeah.
I'm very excited. So October is when we're going to start pre-orders on those?
October is pre-orders on Turtles.
Okay.
And then in November we're on to, I think it's mid-November is when Conan the Barbarian shows up.
And that is the other reveal we've got here. You've got a line of Ultimate Conan figures.
Yeah, Ultimate Conan figures. One figure we still can't show off, so he's a question mark right now for likeness rights, but we should be done with that.
These are full-on like movie likeness rights and everything with these guys.
Yes. So here you've got Conan, Rexor, and Thorgrim. I think there's an obvious one that's missing.
Yep.
We've had many conversations. It's just not done yet, so I can't show it to you. But it's bananas. And his last name is Doom, and it's not Doctor.
Nice. There we go.
And it's insane.
Amazing.
The armor level, and you can take the helmet off, and all. It's just bananas.
Gorgeous. They're gorgeous. And again, Horseman sculpted, lots of accessories. They look like they're going to fit right in with our masters or anything if we want to.
That's sort of basically the thing is like, it doesn't have to be just masters in this scale in this line. Like, how do we make this into a whole thing that you can collect across all the different franchises that you love?
You were speaking my language. Look, I've been a big collector of Masters Classics for all these years, and I've always wanted to see all these other properties in the same style, and you guys are doing it now.
That's my job.
That's amazing.
My job is to make your life happy, Dan. I just said,
Just me?
this morning I said, how can I make Dan happy today?
That's a good motto. I like that.
You like
That's
that?
great.
All
Yeah.
right, I'll get right on that. How do I make Dan happy today? I don't have free money. What can I do? Oh, turtles.
Turtles, that's
what I
it.
can
That's
do.
one of the number one answers. All right, the Ultimates are amazing, but with all these new properties, are we going to see reactions and Keshi and some of that other stuff too?
Yes, there'll be some of that stuff that comes on. Obviously, Reaction, it's a similar thing. Like, Reaction is a very, very big program at this point. Program makes it sound so corporate. Ugh. But it's like, we make lots and lots of licenses for that. So we are going to be making Reaction for most of these same figures. I mean, obviously, Turtles, we already showed at San
already
Diego
started those,
Comic-Con
yep.
with the pizza box, and those come out a little later on card. Thundercats we will do in Reaction. I think it's farther down the line. I think that's like a late 2020 kind of thing,
Okay, gotcha.
because there's so many other Reaction lines that we were already working on that are way down that thing. And for us, it was more important to get on the Ultimates in Thundercats and get that line going again rather than Reaction. But yeah, we will make it. So for the person that likes 3 3/4, they'll be able to get that as well.
That's cool.
Yeah, like, I'm going to make as many toys as people let me make.
I like it. So I got one more thing that a lot of people have asked me about. Is it possible to get 5.5 figures for Thundercats or for Turtles? Like that kind of niche retro style?
Yeah, that's a dramatic pause, right? It's not as easy as it would seem.
Okay.
There are some complications. We've talked about it with, I think it's much more realistic with Thundercats.
Okay.
It's something we have definitely talked about. It is not something that is currently in the works, but it is something that we have discussed, and I think that there's a place for it. I mean, the reality is we sculpted Mumra 5 years ago in that style.
Really?
Before the very first Skeletor's Lair, the original idea was that we were going to do Skeletor versus Mumra, Masters versus Thundercats pop-up, and we sculpted a 5.5-inch Mumra in that style then.
Oh, man.
But we couldn't get everyone to approve the idea.
Okay.
And then we moved on to, it sounds moved on to, but then we went into like, then it's just leaned into Skeletor instead. But so it's been something we've talked about and worked on in some capacity for a long, long time.
Yeah.
And obviously it's been done a little bit, which creates complications. But it's something we've talked a good bit about, and it may happen.
Okay. All right.
May not. Turtles in that 5.5-inch style is a much more delicate proposition, especially because of what is perceived to be playmates and what isn't.
I was going to say that feels like that would be almost a little too close to the retail Playmates stuff, because their stuff's always in 5-inch.
Yeah, and and we want to stay away from that. Right. They still live in that world. They do a great job with it. They're constantly going back to the vintage stuff and making it available for fans again.
Right.
So we don't want to be. We want to be additive, not combative. Yeah. If that makes any sense.
No, absolutely.
So
that's great. That's great. All right.
Yeah, and then you saw Modulok.
Oh yes. Oh, that's right. The reaction Modulok that you just dropped that here. I was so it's amazing. You got like this new carded version of Modulok all put together. No, look, dude, my brain went to mush when I saw the turtles over here. Okay, can you blame me?
I know. Like I said, how can I make Danny's day better today? We'll talk about turtles.
That's right.
We won't talk about Modulok.
Yeah. So you got new reaction here at the show. Is that going to be available outside of PowerCon, or is that just for the show?
It's debuting here. There's no way that the attendance of this show can buy them all.
Okay.
But it's not going to last. It's not a thing that's meant to last forever. So
right.
It'll probably last a couple weeks, I would assume, and then be gone.
Okay.
But we'll see.
All right.
And then you have the pins, like you saw the pin with the gray skull that opened.
The pin is so cool.
And then the pennants and some of the other stuff. And then we've got some more rugs. We're gonna make the rugs again, everybody.
Oh, cool.
Because a lot of people missed out on the rugs.
So are you gonna do like a pre-order for them?
We're gonna do another pre-order for rugs, so that everybody has a chance to get the rugs again. Because that's been probably one of the most asked about things.
Yeah.
Because we made it originally and it did much better than we thought, but there's so many people now that are paying attention to the line that weren't. They just simply just because not that many people knew who we were.
Right.
And that's one of the most requested things. Like, how do I get a rug? And my job, I think, to some degree, is to not make this horrible and painful for people. So we were just like, the rug wasn't meant to be a limited thing. We just made it to however many people wanted it.
Right.
So let's make some more again so people can get it. Because it's not like it's one of those things that people are flipping on the secondary market.
Oh, yeah.
It's just more like, I got a rug, I put it in my room.
Exactly. We're standing on it right now. You should make sure you get a shot of this rug. It's amazing. It's beautiful. The colors are vibrant. Straight out of the original Castle Grayskull playset. I love it.
And you get to see Danny's new shoes.
That's right. Check out those kicks. Look, she's filming them.
Exactly. Well, that's because you got quality camera people on this regard. See? Shout out to the crew, right?
That's right. Shout out to the wife. She's the best camera woman I've ever had.
I want to hope to say that she's the only camera woman.
That's true. That's very true.
I'm going to try to save you for you.
Thank you, Brian. I appreciate it. All right, did we cover everything? I think we got it all. You got a ton of stuff here.
I don't know. I'm trying.
It's amazing.
Come on, people.
No, you're doing great. Yeah. You're doing great. So many new things coming out. I love seeing the Ultimates line just really blow up. All these amazing new action figures you guys are doing. It's going to be a lot of fun.
That's the goal. And it's always fun when you come by, Dan.
Oh, man, I love coming by.
Making his day better already.
Man, I just got the best day now.
Exactly.
Turtles and all these compliments from Brian.
Exactly. I love your haircut. You look
Thanks,
great.
man.
You lost weight?
Oh, well, yeah. Brian, thank you so much for always taking the time to talk to me. I appreciate it.
Thanks for coming by, everybody. Thank you for buying Thundercats.
Awesome. Well, there you guys go. A look at what Super7's got here on display at the 2019 PowerCon.